Oh shit, exploded. -1. How you doing? Welcome back. Oh shit, I think it's working. It took them like 10 years to fix the game. Shoutouts to Brawl Tender. Finally a game that uses my 4080. And now I can't afford the 4090. Rivals is a good looking game. And honestly, when it comes to the handling models of Ghost, this is the best. You wanna know why? Because they only have brake to drift, so you don't have to worry about some like forcing grip handling into the game. You know, they tried so hard to create a grip handling mode and it never worked for them. You know, Ghost used to be Criterion and they only ever did Burnout. Obviously they don't know how to do grip handling. And I'm really surprised they forced themselves into it. If they just stuck to brake to drift like they did in Rivals, it's actually quite fine. 240 FPS Rivals, let's go. I'm a frame rate nerd, right? This monitor is above and beyond. I just absolutely love it. Love the fluidity of 240 Hz. 165, 144, they're both fine.
You completed
Don't
your
get me
training.
wrong. The 240,
Welcome to the RCPD.
they're good. Dude, this looks so smooth. This is crazy smooth. I'm really curious if the power-ups work as intended. This looks fantastic, man. Why didn't they release the game like this? They would have had so much more positive feedback from the community if they actually had unlocked frame rate on the PC on launch. I mean, they kinda had with a console command, but it wasn't working properly. Now we're about to figure out if this mod does the promised things. Console limitation? It was probably because the port to the PC was bad. Right, because they limited FPS on 30 on the consoles, they probably had a hard time to remove that FPS limit once they went to the PC, or they didn't have enough time.
And use the mini-map at the
Dude,
bottom left
I remember,
of the screen.
I used the all drive feature with you guys before it got discontinued. There was 1 year where we could actually do the all drive feature. It was fun. Because that was one of the features where the stream could actually mess with me, right? Like you guys were messing with me while I was playing. I got boost, you took the boost away. You spawned cops, so you gave me power-ups. It was actually really cool. Yeah, it's funny, the app was called Overwatch, right? Just like the game. I'm surprised they never had any issues with copyright. Yeah, the unlockables that you would usually get, they are lost forever. The Overwatch unlockables, you can't get them anymore. I mean, maybe you can hack it somehow, but I wouldn't know. I personally wouldn't know how. Dude, I'm looking mesmerized at the effects, because the effects are also rendered at 240 FPS. Okay, moment of truth. Is the EMP gonna work as intended or no? Is it gonna be sped up? Because it would be nearly instant at 4 times the frame rate. Or is it fixed? You ready? 3, 2, 1. It works normally. Sweet. wasn't that normally MP speed? Was it sped up? Yeah. Oh, true. It's the same speed as the 60 FPS. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. It's the same speed as if it was running at 60 FPS. You are right about that, actually. It was faster than without frame rate unlock, but it was as fast as 60 FPS unlock. Senzo, that's the next thing I'm gonna try to figure out. Is it gonna break some events? Because some events were always breaking at high FPS. That's the next thing we're gonna figure out. The leaves looked a bit buggy. The leaves on the ground were like jittering around. I don't know if you saw it. It was a very fine detail. But honestly, this is a genuinely beautiful game. This looks good. And at the very least, I like it. I would be so happy if we can get through the entire game today without any issues. You know what I mean? Doesn't feel bad? No, it doesn't. I think a lot of people had a really bad first experience with Rivals. I gotta say, mine wasn't that bad. I remember I had a 970 at the time, which was able to pull 60 FPS in this game, and that alone just made the game a lot better, in my opinion. It is a very straightforward game, but the thing is, I guess I'm more used to straightforward games, right? If you start Need for Speed from the very beginning, right? Like the old school Hot Pursuit games, they're also very straightforward. So I would say it's the most optimal version of the 60 FPS commands that you can usually use. Yeah, we still have events that break, but the game runs so nicely. This looks so smooth. Sadly, you guys can only see 60 FPS from the stream. 240 is a bit of a face melter. This is extremely smooth. There's a frame rate matter, because this game is usually locked to 30 FPS. If you never played this game before, it was locked to 30 on consoles, but also on PC. And unlocking the frame rate always led to certain issues, which seem to be fixed. There's now officially a new patch out, a new tool by Tendo that truly unlocks the frame rate. So now Rivals actually runs at 240 FPS for me. A little bit less when there's cars involved, but around 200 FPS for me. And without any of the drawbacks. Actually, I was only ever able to do 60 FPS. You know, when you look at the usual 60 FPS commands that you use to unlock it, it looks like you could just set any frame rate, but it only ever worked for me on 60 and never with frame rates above. The frame rates above it was always buggy. If I can do multiplayer at high FPS when everyone else in the lobby doesn't. God damn it, dude. Especially here in the forest, I think the game looks fantastic. Like, a lot better than Hot Pursuit in a similar area. Frostbite, yes. I think you can really tell it's made in Frostbite. Because honestly, if you look at the run looks very similar. It was also made in Frostbite. Sure, the previous version, but that stuff doesn't change too much even if you go from Frostbite 2 to 3. You know, you could say Rivals is one of my guilty pleasures. One of those games that I like that most people don't. And the most people in this case are like, you know, car dudes. People that like racing games. If we're talking about the mainstream, man, the mainstream doesn't like racing games for the most part. Or they just don't care about it, right? They wouldn't buy a racing game. A lot of the events actually have a hideout nearby, and this game is very easy to escape. You literally just go to your hideout, regardless if the cops are on you or not. So it's not like Most Wanted where you have to escape first. There's a fix for the event that makes you freeze? I didn't know! Where is it? Tell me about it. Right now.
I said right now!
I didn't know there's a fix for it. There was a game. There was a game, dude. This is a side effect of the 60 FPS that the Shockwave like puts the player into a spin. I mean, I gotta say Criterion kinda earned a lot of the bad talk that they're getting. Like, nobody really wanted Most Wanted 2012, but I guess not even Criterion was gonna make that game. That one probably was simply because of the publisher trying something, forcing them to create a game they didn't want to do. But I will still say that, you know, the way the crashes worked in Most Wanted 2012, that's on the developer, that's on Criterion. The cars being hard to steer, as well as the crashes happening too easily, that definitely is Criterion's fault. Even if they didn't make the Most Wanted that most people desired. Yeah, but I think EA and mismanagement goes hand in hand. I don't think that's the first, and it's definitely not gonna be the last time. The publisher and developer are not gonna work too well together. Spin twin. And out of bounds. Hey guys, Kuru here. Check out Instant Gaming for cheap game keys. Click the link in the description below. The thing is, when you immediately shockwave them after the ESF hits, they get an extra hard hit, because it kinda adds up the momentum. Shout out to Freddy. Ow, was it a double? I just got 3 shockwaves. The FPS so high I get hit by shockwave twice. Maybe that's why I took more damage. The game had some pretty cool crashes though. You mess with the opponents.
Do a barrel roll!
Ah, the hideout was in that direction. Ah! Okay, these effects do look a bit extreme though. When I look at the sparks on the other players, they look a little bit gentle. Probably a side effect of the FPS. But to be fair, maybe it's always like this and you don't see it when you're playing a low FPS. One thing that was definitely an issue with this game were the crash cutscenes. They were not very impressive. For the most part, some of them look genuinely amazing or really broken. Some are just really boring too. It's a little bit all over the place. Oh shit, it exploded. -1. Yeah, ESF, like as a counter alone, makes it amazing. But it also does a lot of damage. You can combine it with a ram attack, ESF, shockwave, like it's a trifecta. There's a lot of damage if you hit all of those 3 at the same time. I wanted to avoid the EMP, man. Jammed. Not fast enough. Not fast enough. Nah, easily the best zone. It looks fantastic. Reminds me a lot of the zone that you had in the run as well. The winter zone just looks amazing in Frostbite. I assume similar in Battlefield. With my health, what the? Dude, I think the high FPS gets double hits. I think I'm being double hit by the cops from time to time. It doesn't make a lot of sense though, right? You can start events even if you're in a chase. So why can't you look for them? Wait, why is there only hot pursuits? Oh wait, are we a cop? Oh, we're actually in the cop career, but we're using a racer car. I thought we would be a cop in a racer car during a racer campaign, but that makes more sense. A lot of fun besides the bugs. Yeah, I think there's plenty of fun to be had, up to a point where you can ignore most of the bugs.
The opposite. Create chaos for our enemies.
The game is a bit edgy, isn't it? You can't be a dickhead. The FBI.
You will bring them.
I really hate this. Like, Ghost never ever went away from this stupid ass scrolling system. Okay, there's F1. But I needed Simon 17. Like, the way they're doing the scrolling thing sideways, I fucking hate it. So slow. So slow. You know, at least Forza Horizon understood that, you know, if you do a grid, you can go down and right, you know, depending what you need. Like, instead of having 3 cars side by side, they could be in a row. Right, they could be in a row, and then you just scroll row by row, so you would be jumping 3 cars at once and not just 1. Is there still Elementor the one that has a QR code? Have you tried scanning this one? Oh, the 1-1. Yeah, the 1-1, you have to do a bunch of stuff to unlock it though, but that is the one that I used all the time. You know how I enjoyed this game the most? I went online as a cop and I just killed everyone that I saw, racers and cops alike. Because I knew I was able to outplay them all. It was the fastest car, the 1-1. And you get a metric shit ton of nitrous, so they will never ever get away from you. So it could be a massive big hole. And just mess with the players, and I did. I just really enjoyed being an ass in this game. Ah, ballsack, dude, he actually was able to move away from this. That's why I don't like the busting system in this game. It's really stupid. The thing is, the snowy area is actually very small. You know, like, the snowy area is like this road uphill, this long road here, and this road here, right? It's 1, 2, 3 roads. That's it. You take this cross section here, then you have 1 road in 3 directions. Right? You have 3 roads. This is everything. Like, in my mind, the frozen area was a lot bigger. A lot bigger. You know, I would like to have a sit down with some of the executives for EA and Need for Speed. You know, all the relevant people that make the big decisions for the franchise. Just have a get together. Just talk. I wanna know why they do certain things. And if they could use, you know, some advice. I mean, for me, it would be easy to get into the mindset of, hey, you want to make money. Okay, I get it. So let's figure out how to make the most amount of money and satisfy the fans at the same time. You know, I feel like just for personal satisfaction, you know, to understand the thought process, you know, and, you know, empty my knowledge. You want the most amount of money with the least amount of effort. Yeah, but I would advocate for a little bit more effort and a lot more money. Which I think would work. You put in just a little bit more effort, but you will get much bigger return. Ow! Got me good. Trying to figure out how they're gonna try for some interesting... Oh my god! Interesting endeavor. How would you sell them the idea to put in a little more effort, but the next people will get more money? Honestly, I would tell them about, you know, my experience with the golden era of Need for Speed. I can create like a really good presentation going through the history of Need for Speed and you know what was good about the games and what still works with this generation of car guys, you know, the people that would actually be interested in a car-based game. You know, rather than trying to appeal to the mainstream that doesn't give a shit about racing games, I think it's time to appeal to the car dudes and girls in the world. You know, rather than, you know, doing things that don't work over so many years, I think it's time for a new approach. And I think in order to, you know, build the future, you need to know the past. You can take so much information from the past, you know, things that worked and things that didn't work, you know, in old games. Like that information, in my opinion, is lost. I see it so many times, so many developers, they just completely forget about the legacy. They don't even play. They don't even play the old games. That in my opinion is the craziest thing. You make a Need for Speed game and you haven't even played Need for Speed. It's like an actor that doesn't have any idea about his character. Let's say you play Abraham Lincoln and you don't know anything about the dude, right? Imagine an actor doing this, having zero knowledge about the character he's supposed to portray. I think that really puts it into the spotlight, like how stupid it is not to know about something when you're doing that exact thing, right? Before you become a math teacher, you gotta learn math. Thanks to the speech of Abraham Lincoln. Yep, you heard me right. Why should it get brought back to Most Wanted? Because it has the most fans and it sold the most copies. Need for Speed quiz Who Wants to Be the Millionaire. Huh, interesting. The thing is, somebody would have to make the questions for me, right? Because if I make the questions, like who am I gonna ask those questions to? Would be a fun event though. I like the idea. I gotta say I enjoyed it quite a bit when they just bounce around all over the place. Another thing that I noticed though, the further you're away from them, the less they try to dodge the spikes. The game was not made to be rendered outside. I just realized I haven't even maxed out the car yet. This is just a stock car. Cop cars are maxed out in performance, but the racer cars, you have to buy the upgrades. What the fuck? Due to the effects of a particularly stubborn issue, you will need to log in again. I'm sure this is anti-piracy shit. This has gotta be anti-piracy shit. What? Am I still in the race? I'm still in the race. What the hell happened? You've never seen that before. I'm not sure what was the bigger cancer, the EA app or Origin. Like both delivered me a good amount of pain over the years. You know what I totally agree with missing features. You know what my problem is with this app? You can't open it when you're in a game, right? Like of course you can open Steam while you're in a game, because why not? But the EA app, you can't open it. You can only use the in-game overlay if you want to interact with the app.
They will remain.
It's so stupid. And that's something they coded in on purpose, because otherwise it would just work. Nice shot there. Oh, right in front of my face. No, I don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to. Plug. Whoa! Windows, what the fuck? Why do you randomly show me a Windows folder? Why? This fucking shit, man. Wait, that's not... I had no speed, man. What the fuck? So a few crashes here and there can't be avoided, but that's a Rivals problem. So the way it works, I was told by Broltendo, is basically when an NPC on the map doesn't find its path, then the game crashes. Got him. I just fell down. It's too easy, man. How did he survive though? How's it different to the 60 FPS? You can get more than 60 FPS. Although I can't hold 240 FPS, I'm usually around 200 FPS and the game is extra mega fluid. Also, it doesn't get a slowdown. The game doesn't slow down when the frame rate target isn't hit. Right? I think that's a big one, because I think a lot of people, they can reach like high frame rates, but they might not get it all the time. And the thing about the 60 FPS command, if you don't hit 60 FPS, the game slows down. Obviously 60 is easier to hit than 240, but yeah, I'm enjoying the hell out of this super fluid representation of Rivals, you know? Fuck. Alright, talking about it, I should have bought upgrades for this car. I think this shit is really expensive. I had like 1.2 million, and after you fully upgrade your car, it just spends 800,000. 800,000 to max out this car's performance, and that you get for free when you're a cop. Yeah, but that fix actually works. That fix that sets the mesh or whatever it was to 3, like it stops the game crashing on this particular spot. You know, maybe that should be combined with 60. The thing about Brawl's mod, above 60 FPS the game crashes more often. That's something I've definitely noticed. Might be just a game issue, might be a Rivals issue. That it just doesn't happen as often on 60 FPS, but once you dial it up to 240, it's more obvious. But maybe you can half the crashing if you do, I don't know, 120 FPS. It would have been fun if like everything was fixed with just one mod, but we're not there yet. We're getting closer, but we're not there yet. You know, I was actually pretty excited about Ghost because I liked Rivals when it released. I had a lot more fun with this game than Most Wanted 2012. I just really enjoyed just being a cop and just wrecking everyone. Honestly, where all the cops are all of a sudden from? I guess I'm at heat level 6, but holy shit, man. Did more than I expected. Whoa. Heat level 10, why there's so many cops on me? Yeah, but like earlier I was scraping by trying to get anything, and then like a shit ton of cops at once. Is that an area to avoid? Actually, no. The only time the game crashes is random. You cannot avoid it. The hell is this shit? I didn't even get the chance to reset. What the hell? Here's some bonus stuff for you guys. I did that, and this works. This actually stopped my game from crashing in certain areas, which was always a problem with Rivals. But this fixes it. Basically, you want this essential fix. That is really the number one thing. I agree with that ordering. This is the important thing. Hey guys, sleep tight. You come back on Saturday, and good night. Bye bye.